leave him a card. And to lighten up the mood, first I have some jokes. So you can respond with why. But first, you're like, some of you feel down. So just to put the mood up a bit, give me a J.
J.
Give me an E.
E.
Give me an S.
S.
Give me a U.
U.
Give me another S.
S.
What does that spell?
Jesus.
I'm sorry, am I deaf today? I can't hear you.
Jesus.
Exactly. And that's who we worship.
Amen.
So, with our first joke, you can respond with why. So, if Jesus fed 5,000 with 5 loaves and 2 fish, Mama, I know you can feed the youth group with 1 pizza. Why did Satan get kicked out of the music industry?
Why?
Too much treble and not enough grace. Why did the hawk sit on the church steeple?
Why?
Because it was a bird of prey. What kind of man was Boaz before he got married?
Why?
He was ruthless. So now I've come along. I've had a story. So listen up close because I'm going to be asking some questions soon. So one day Jesus' followers were following him, but it was such a hot day. People were hungry. The boy packed his own lunchbox and wanted to share. So the disciples came to him and said, Jesus, these people are tired and hungry. Maybe we should send them away so they can buy food. But Jesus looked at them and replied, Kwete, vape kuchka ini. They were confused and said, but Lord, we only have 5 loaves and 2 fish. Rishona iji. Still, Jesus was calm. He told the people to sit down in groups. Then he took 5 loaves, Chigachishanu, then 2 fish, Hovenbiru. Looked up to heaven and said thank you to God. He broke the bread and began to share it. And something amazing happened. Everyone ate. Not just a little, they were full. And what was left? 12 packets of leftovers. My biscuity, gumi, and beanie. The message is simple but powerful. Even if you have a little, God can multiply it. Faith sometimes means offering what seems too small and trusting God to do the rest.
Amen.
Jesu anotipa rakawanda, ubapa kushoma. Don't forget to do good and share with others. With such sacrifices, God is pleased. When you share, you're not just giving food, clothes, or money. You're giving love. You're saying to someone, I see you. You're right here, and I care about you. You matter. Remember the boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish? He shared, and Jesus multiplied it to feed 1,000. What if he had kept it to himself? Because he shared, lives were touched, bellies were filled, and faith was strengthened. Church, do you know who this member of PSS is feeding you right now? Your lives are touched, instead of your bellies being filled, your spirits are being uplifted, and your faith is strengthened.
Amen.
Now, church, I have a question, and I'm going to ask 3 people, and I need some hands up here. So, listen up. Tell me a time where you have shared anything with someone in your life. It doesn't have to be big. Anyone? Miss my cousin, I'm sorry, I have to do a job. Now, when I ask you, tell where you have shared anything in your life, you guys have to put your hand up, and if your hand is not up, I'm still gonna pick you. So how Miss McConnell felt when she shared.
I went to have lunch with my previous landlord. She is an elderly woman who just looks for companionship. She just needed my time. So I just took time out of my day to go have lunch with her, just to make her day.
Amen.
Amazing. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions. I don't know most of your names, so I'm sorry. So, how do you think Miss McCormick felt when she shared with someone? I'm not gonna pick you. You're my brother, sorry. And you in the blue dress.
I think she felt good as much as she probably had a lot of other things to do, but just going there and sitting with someone and making someone's day, I'm sure it made her feel good inside.
Yes. And it made both people feel good. And also Jesus very pleased. And yeah.
I think initially she was just doing it because she was thinking, this is my landlord, my family will get kicked out. So she was like, let me go for this lunch. But I think in the end, she was the one who had such a beautiful time and got to know this landlord or this person. And possibly, I feel like she's the one who left there with maybe a cup that was more fuller than the lady that she took out.
Yes, exactly. Now, Mukundi. Pick me later. Pick you later. Okay, sorry, we're moving out now. But first, why didn't they play cards on the ark? Because Noah was standing on the deck. Now, giving does lots of things. First of all, it builds connection. When you share your time, food, ideas, even just your attention, you're saying to people, you matter. That brings people closer, and we all need that. Second of all, it helps others. Sometimes what feels small to you can be everything to someone else. A sandwich, a ride, a kind word. You never know how the weight lifts. 2, 3, it teaches gratitude and humility. Sharing reminds you that nothing you have is just for you. It humbles you and grows your heart at the same time. 4, it spreads love. Love is not just a feeling, it's also an action. When you share, you're literally putting love into motion. If God can multiply bread into 5,000 pieces, He can spread love. 5, it multiplies blessings. What you give away comes back in some form. Maybe not money, maybe not today, but we want to know, the more you give, the richer your soul gets. So, exactly. Sharing is caring, but it's also my 3 C's. Courage, compassion, and community. Courage, compassion, community. Keep that in your head.
Amen.
Now, I can see some people getting a little sleepy. Sorry if I'm too boring, but now I have some questions of who was listening well. How many people were there following God? I might have not mentioned it, but I might have mentioned it too.
5,000?
Yes, Ms. McLennan. What is the main topic we're looking at? Everyone should know this. Exactly. What did God multiply? Can anyone say that in Shona? Yes. How many buckets were left over? Thank you, whoever that was. Now, what I said to keep that in your head. What are the 3 C's? It's doesn't have to be in the order. It just I hear all of them at the same time, but I hear this. That's okay. As I conclude my message today, remember John 6 verse 9. He is a boy with small belly loaves and 2 small fish. But how far will they go among so many? This is a big idea to think about. Sometimes we think we don't have much. But when we give what we do have, no matter how small, God can multiply it. He wasn't a leader. He wasn't a disciple. He wasn't a leader. He was just a kid with a lunchbox. But he showed up. But he showed up and he shared. That's faith. That's courage. That's giving. That's the 3 C's.
Amen.
He gave what he had. It wasn't much, just 5 loaves and 2 fish. But that's the thing. God doesn't need much. He just needs your eyes. That smile you gave. That time where you spent listening to someone. That small act of kindness. God can turn that around into something huge.
Amen.
Jesus didn't say, "Ji show my Ji." He took what the boy gave and blessed it and fed over 5,000 people. What does that mean for us? Your gift might look small. Your voice might be quiet. But in Lord's eyes, it's more than enough.
Amen.
Now, just to hype up the mood a bit. Now, give me a J.
J.
Give me